It
Oh,
would
you're
take him a
saying
few
between a
seconds.
chimpanzee and a man is the same
It's the same as between a man and a woman.
woman.
That's what scientists discovered.
Well,
and so we would be.
So
So we understand
basically,
how
so
women.
if a chimpanzee decides to rape you, you basically have no chance.
he will rape you. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Thank you for having us as well.
Tonight we are having a serious topic, the Epstein and all that jazz. And
Yes, sir.
You could not really avoid it. Recently, it's everywhere. The first time I heard about it was maybe a year or two ago, and I think the attention of everybody increased, especially when it was just a rumor and people knew some things about it. And then Trump promised that when he would be elected, he would reveal all the names and all this scandal.
Yeah.
Turns out,
A few were redacted.
a lot were redacted, and also a lot of people said that because his name was on the list. And I'm not sure why they're talking about a list. Like, what kind of list?
No,
Just a list of
actually, the
names?
list is basically, I think, whoever is mentioned within those files.
Okay.
Doesn't mean that it is they did anything wrong.
Yeah.
It's mentioned. So
Just all the names that are
like if
mentioned.
he said that I need to meet with the prime minister of this country to negotiate a deal,
Yeah, he's on the list.
he's on the list.
Okay. So let's summarize the Epstein.
Of course, I
Case.
speak like I know what I'm saying. I'm not sure at all.
No, I
But
think
yeah.
People know that we are just winging it. So the Epstein files, these are files about...
Sorry to cut you off.
Sure.
Just so I think it's very important that we introduce the topic right. So
Sure.
basically, for those who don't know, Epstein was convicted of a lot of crazy stuff involving minors and all that stuff. But he actually died while he
Mysteriously.
was incarcerated in very mysterious ways, like where it was like the cameras were off, system was shut down, the guards were asleep, a lot of so it's you can smell the conspiracy theories boiling.
If I may add a couple more details, like not to feed into this conspiracy, but he also it was mentioned that the bed sheet were also not supposed to to resist this weight, and they are like very frail, and they are specially made for to fight against or to prevent suicide. And also the autopsy, there was a little bit of discussion there. They said, that doesn't make sense. He was more
So
strangled,
you have a lot
etc.
of theories that actually were born from this. Some are saying that he's not dead. Others are saying that he's been killed to be silenced. So the truth is we don't really know.
Yeah.
But what's for sure is that it's making a lot of waves.
For sure. Absolutely. So there are many conspiracies around that. Some people are saying that, I mean, what is clear, to be really honest, is that he lured people to have illegal activities, including mainly sexual intercourse
With minors.
with minors. And also, like when you say minors, I think they were like barely legal or minors.
It was children.
Children.
Yeah.
Okay. So
And one of the first, I would say, direct consequence was I don't know if you saw this, the Great Britain's prince, the brother
Prince
of
Andrew,
the
Prince Andrew,
brother of the king, where he like his brother issued like a communique where he basically stripped him from all his titles, all his stuff, like without mentioning anything more, which is quite serious.
But also without any legal consequences, though, too.
Well,
that's another thing. The only person that is in prison right now who's still alive, besides Epstein, who died, is Maxwell, his
Yeah.
fiance or girlfriend or
Is
whatever.
she still in? No, I don't think she is.
She is still in New York, but she has a very
Oh yeah,
lenient-
she was in a kind of like very I would
very lenient
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
jail. Like she
yes.
could get away, she could leave, and the doors
Yeah.
were not closed, and she managed to get to cut a deal with the feds where she would be able to have a very open
Yes.
prison cell. Yeah.
And while this was happening, I think a couple of years ago, there was also this documentary that came out on Netflix where I think that's what's one of the things that sparked the whole thing as well. Well, where they basically interviewed girls that and what was highlighted a lot was the role that his wife played
Yeah, his
in
fiance or girlfriend.
or
I
girlfriend.
don't think they're married. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was pretty much like luring them and working as a casting manager pretty much for him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
it's like
it's
honestly the whole thing is straight out of the movie. It's
Man.
crazy that he has an island where all those conspiracy theories that we were thinking about, the rich and famous like drinking blood and doing these things, we got pretty close to this.
Well, there's a lot of things that are quite intriguing, at least. Like,
Yeah.
you know, there's usually you have like a category of people that are more inclined to those theories and all that stuff. Here, there are many things that are actually
Verified.
not only verified, but are a very good base to build a theory upon.
For sure, for sure. I think the conspiracy theorists must have a blast now.
Yeah. One of them is on economics and more specifically crypto, because you know the thing about crypto where there's this one like the founder. Nobody
they
knows
say
who
that
it
it's
is.
him.
And all they know is in his account there's like I think $100 billion worth of Bitcoin or something, and nobody knows who it is and all that stuff. Well, they found documents that he was very much involved in the very, very early stages of Bitcoin, for instance. So some are saying that it was him. A lot of people do not understand how he accumulated his wealth. Like, what was he exactly? He had like crazy access everywhere. Knows all the...
I have a theory about that.
Yeah.
So first of all, he's a math teacher. So
Yeah, but that never
a math
actually had a
teacher
degree.
would not be able. Yeah,
By the way.
but a math teacher would not be able to have that much money and to buy an island and do all those things. Imagine if there are two people who are mildly famous and they have like decent jobs. Let's say they are whatever working for the government, but low levels, and they are sitting together, and one of them says, "Hey, I have a friend." Whatever name, like Epstein.
Name is Jeff.
His name is Jeffy Jeff. And he's a cool guy. He wants to join us for a drink. Let me call him. Calls him. He comes in. He's fun. He's charming, blah, blah, blah. Hey, guys, this is fun. And he is smart, which is one of the theories that you have. And honestly, I didn't really explore that. You could tell us more about it. But then he would say, guys, I'm having so much fun with you guys. I want to invite you to my house. Let's go finish the party at my house. I have some friends over, etc. You guys are cool. And he's rich and he has connections, obviously. So why not? We all go to his house. Now, we all know that this is one of his tactics. He probably doesn't tell you right from the get-go, oh, I have girls and underage girls, etc., etc. He would just say, come to my house for a party. And anyone would fall for this. And then you would go, let me finish up. So then you would go to his house. Of course, hidden cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
The party is going on, the whatever, drugs, alcohol, whatever people like. But certainly alcohol, at least. And then girls. You would not necessarily feel suspicious right away. You would just have a fun in the party, and then the alcohol go in. You see the girls, and obviously, if the girls are underage, right away that's a red flag. You get the fuck out of there. But that's almost like too late. Your pictures was taken. You were at the party with underage girls, so I think already he's holding you by the balls right now. Some people, of course, they cross the line and they go all the way, but already you are in trouble in a way, because let's imagine you work for the Secretary of Defense or whatever. You are low level, but these pictures would not be good for your career. Pretty much your career is ruined. You didn't do anything. You were invited to a party and then boom, you're there. So that's the big problem that I have right now.
Well, there is. I agree 100%, but there is one little detail that kind of changes things for me. It's in the Virgin Islands. Like, you don't, it's not come to my house. It's like
I agree,
where the
but
plane spent multiple days.
He also has a house in
I
Florida,
mean,
right?
would you, yeah, but the creepy stuff is always like in the,
I'm sure some crazy stuff happened in Florida
but like
as well.
I'm talking like the crazy stuff.
Yes.
Right? So, because some of the what's it called, like eyewitnesses and all the stuff, like you hear crazy stories.
Yeah.
Like and plus AI started making up videos, so you hear stories about babies and stuff. One of the theories that was super crazy to me was that I didn't verify this, but apparently it came out from the J files mails. Where there was he was corresponding, I think, with some kind of scientist about the
eugenics or something like that. Like he wants to clean the race and
no. Basically, this thing was specifically on blood, like the relationship between like blood of children being filled of adrenaline.
Ooh.
Like apparently that has a component that is like the fontaine of jouvence kind of thing and stuff. So some theories are saying that they weren't there to, basically they were terrifying kids to take their blood and and drink them and whatever. So there's like a lot of crazy stuff. What's for sure, and what comes out of it is that this whole stuff is very dark. And what's even more, I would say, because we have a lot of people that have a lot of money in the world. Like, not a lot, but, you know, like we know the top billionaires and stuff. That kind of pull that guy had. I saw this this video of in Congress. I think they were interviewing some members of the Trump administration when Trump was you know, like right before the elections, where he had that turmoil with the justice and stuff, where one of the Congress women had her phone, and the exact time they got the transcripts of the text that Jeffrey Epstein was sending. He was sending it to her, and it's quite crazy. Where it's like he asked her to ask about Nora. NORA, and she's asking like, is that an acronym or whatever? Quick, I'm about to go. Like, what is it about? And he tells her it's her assistant. And right away she goes like, the first question, what can you tell us about Miss Nora?
Wow.
You
so
know,
he's
like
controlling a lot of stuff.
So when you see that, you're like, okay, you have all the theories of like, you know,
Yeah.
and stuff. Money or whatever, but when you see the pull, politically, presidents, head of banks, all the stuff, because realistically and in the very high world, like whatever, on paper he's no one, he's nobody.
Course.
Like he's not the biggest businessman, he's not the biggest, he's the shadow guy. And what was what I take out of it is that for someone that had that much pull, that much stuff, whatever, to have something like this happen to him, meaning that all his downfall, dying in prison, all that stuff, I'm like, who's above that guy?
But here's the thing, he's a nobody, but he knows everybody, and that's the crazy thing. And like I said, the fact that you are invited to whatever party, and then you commit by just being there and your pictures are taken. And then let's be honest, a lot of people were saying how horrible he was and how they met him. Just maybe, I think they are playing defense, or like, oh, in case we see pictures with me and him, I would just say, yeah, I met him. I'm not gonna deny that because I want to be credible. So
But
they said I met him, and he's a horrible person. I saw a
but
story.
everybody's gonna find him horrible.
Of course, until we see the email, and for example, Elon Musk, who was like, tell me when is your crazy. I've been working on Tesla and on this whatever.
Humans are like
But
that.
here's the thing. I saw something, and I wish I had more sources, but I saw something maybe on 60 Minutes or CNN or whatever, and this guy was saying, "Oh, I'm the neighbor of Epstein in Florida," and when he came in, we went with my wife to meet him because he was the new neighbor, and whatever, we brought cake or something, like the traditional thing, and apparently Epstein, he opened the door. They stepped in, and they were like talking on the doorway. No, we don't want to bother you. We're just here to say hi. We live right over there, blah, blah. We are the Smith or whatever. And he said something like, oh, we promise we won't be too loud in this house. I just moved here. But we do have some crazy nights if you and your wife are interested. And he made them feel a little creepy.
Yeah.
And here's the funny thing. The guy left. With his wife, they said, no, we just want to leave now.
He came back. What's the gravy?
You know what? Exactly. We saw on his email exactly the right time. He said, so where were we?
Yeah.
And he started like chipping in and going to his body. So what I'm saying is, what's interesting, I had a conversation with a friend today, actually, and we were like going through the mails, etc., etc. And he was saying how stupid people are that they don't even try to hide their identity. Like where Elon Musk would use his personal email address and he would write, oh, Elon at the end. Like, really? Like, and he said even the stupidest criminals who sell drugs on the neighborhood, they would use a burner phone and they would do basic stuff.
I highly disagree on that. I think that when you think... I think that the people that were dealing with Epstein thought that he was the top of the food chain. I have no doubt.
And they were already big fishes themselves.
Yes.
So
you don't cover your tracks with the apex predator.
I don't think so, because journalists can still dig something out. So I would use Mr. I would use like nick. I mean, not that I'm giving ideas. Bro, or like I would use nicknames like Mr. Hat or Mr. Chair, Mr.
If you know for a fact, I'm not saying they know. It's just my theory. But if you know for a fact that no one moves without his say so in press, in this, he can squash anything coming up, because he's been getting this whole those red flags were coming up for at least, I don't know, I think 20 years. Nobody ever heard about it until his downfall.
He did go to prison though for 13 months.
Yeah, but
which was like
probably
nothing
like
really like a real prison.
But that's the thing. I think that a lot of people thought that he was the untouchable, and I think that a lot of people are probably that know how that system works deep down are probably afraid of what's above it, because let's say today you get convicted of I'm gonna say you, I'm not gonna say
sure,
sorry.
why not?
You get convicted of some horrible thing, right? I will be, from the public's perspective, I'll be guilty by association.
That's true.
But I'm gonna be like, yes, but I always hated that guy and stuff, and every week I was coming to debate him. I was the first line of defense, and
of course, you would make yourself.
Nobody's
as a hero.
gonna say, yeah, he was a cool dude. What can I say?
Yeah,
I didn't see it, right? So when you hear all those guys saying, yeah, he was my friend, it was just business. I never went to the island. I probably took a picture in this gala or whatever the fuck. Of course they're gonna say that. What do you want them to say?
You know, I might be naive.
Yeah.
But I think there are some collateral damage.
What?
And people were sucked in and they didn't really go all the way. They just literally were just with him taking pictures because they met him, because this guy knew everybody.
But a lot of them came forward. And because one of the things that is for sure, and I saw it on some UK TV, where they said anyone that's mentioned on that list should justify why he's mentioned on that list. In the sense that you just justify it.
So guilty until proven innocent.
Not guilty, but we need to to separate those who that
true.
you are talking about and those that are deeper in the stuff. Like there's a lot of people that said, yeah, I met Epstein a few times here, and here. He was there because he was part of this group or whatever. I was there. We
were doing fundraising and he was there,
I have no idea who he is.
Yeah.
And those are like fine. Because people that know, of course, you have those gaslighters and all that stuff that would be telling you that this is unacceptable, whatever. But everybody knows that you meet people every day that you don't know, or that hell, we play soccer every week with people we don't know.
They might be criminals and we don't know.
For years,
Yeah.
I have no idea what they do in their free time. I have no idea.
That's true.
So people know that, but the ones that take a plane, come to your island. This is why I told you it's different, because like in this case, you go for over 24 hours abroad. You board the plane, a private plane. It's not even like, oh, the ticket is cheap this weekend. Let
me play the devil's advocate.
Right.
So you think going to his house in Florida, if you live in Florida, you go for dinner, you have fun, and he says, listen,
this is...
That's fine.
Yes.
But going to his island, that's where you cross the line.
It's not crossing the line. I'm just saying that it takes a bit more to go to an island than just, hey, I have a party, come over. This is what I'm saying.
I'm not sure. If you're really rich, going to an island is like a Monday. Going into a private plane is Tuesday.
I disagree, because if you're really rich, what is your biggest commodity?
Time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you don't go to a place for 24 hours just for the...
You better be a hell of a party.
Exactly. This is my point.
It better be good.
It better be
Make
very,
it
very
count.
good. So that's my only point. But at the end, the only thing I get from this is that having that much pool, access to what seems to be unlimited funds,
For sure.
and being a nobody, like I think at 30 years old, he was part of some groups of that had like presidents and stuff. Like he was very, very connected. He's not a dynasty like a Rothschild child or one of the dynasty children. I just said a keyword there. But yeah.
His girlfriend or wife, whatever, she was like her father was extremely rich, Maxwell something. He was like the head of a.
He was what did they say something? Oh yeah, I think he was head of some kind of magazine or
something,
big,
but extremely rich,
big,
like the top 100. And I want to come to the way this information was treated in France.
Yes.
France is interesting because
France is a sneaky little sneaky.
Epstein has a big apartment in the 16th arrondissement, which is
not
the
a
top
big
of the
apartment.
top.
I think it's like
it's like a mansion, whatever. So, and he was always invited to private hotels, etc., etc. And I forgot his name. The guy who was involved, the directeur du Monde Arabe or something like that.
I can't remember.
Huh?
What?
Jacques Lang, thank you, La Régie.
Oh,
Jack Lang. So Jack Lang.
Uh-huh.
That's a very interesting thing. So
Okay.
he has a big cultural role. He used to be minister, etc., etc., and now he has a big role into culture.
Yeah.
And he's an old man, 84, I think. And when they asked him about Epstein, his line of defense was interesting, to say the least. He said, well, first of all, they said, how did you get to meet him? And this is the first screw up. He should have a better PR team if he does have one.
He invited me to the party.
Listen, no. He said, even worse than that. Woody Allen introduced me to him. And I'm like, oh, Woody Allen, the guy who married his daughter?
Tringa.
that guy is your reference?
Oh, my God. That was funny.
You suck. And he said, yeah, Woody Allen
Wallah. Wallah, Woody Allen.
He said, "Wallah, eat you."
my
He
God.
said, "Please, I have to introduce you to this guy." So already,
We had the same hobbies.
don't say
oh my God.
Woody Allen as a reference, like, "Oh, I was introduced by this
Yeah.
guy who had good reference, so he introduced me to one of his friends. So by
Yeah.
de facto, it's already a good guy." So, anyways,
That's funny.
so Woody Allen introduced me to him, and he loves culture. He's very charming. And I have no idea what's going on. So the thing where I could believe him is, I know it sounds very crude, but how sexually active are you going to be at 85? Really? Like, okay,
Bro, come on.
like really?
Well, it takes a pill, bro.
Well, still at 85, I think he would be like maybe 20 or 30 years younger. I would say, yeah, sure, why not? That age, it might be a little complicated.
I'm gonna tell you something. You're talking about this. One of the guys that were going to the island was a regular. Was the scientist? Like what's his name?
Oh no, who's that? Noam Schwansky or something?
No, oh my god, I forgot his name.
The
The
scientist.
scientist with the chair. Hello, my name is.
my
You know,
God.
what's his name?
Yes. Let's
Oh.
see if the crowd knows. No? Yeah. He can't remember the name either.
Oh my god.
But this is disappointing because a lot of heroes fell with
Hawkins.
Hawkins.
Yes. So Hawkins was there. So don't tell me an 84 can get
He's
it
just
up.
going.
Come on.
He's just going down. You see, he's hoping for a miracle, for a miracle leg. Anyways, on va la couper celle-là, c'est sûr. Sinon, on va finir en pute.
So yeah.
Yeah, so Hawking, he went there. So you're right. But I think here is let's continue with his
Yeah.
line of defense. So he said, yeah, I just knew him, I never, etc., etc. And he also said, I never went to his island. So that already is a good argument for me.
Yeah.
And I think people said, yeah, but after he was condemned, you still were hanging out with him. How could you say I didn't know? He said, when I meet people, I don't ask them for their things. I think
Yes.
when somebody is really famous, really rich, you hear things. His daughter, here's the thing.
Whose daughter?
His daughter, Jack Long's
Okay.
daughter, inherited $5 million after Jeffrey Epstein's death. He wrote it on his will. And they said, $5 million? Why would he give you that much money? Oh, we did some work with some movies, etc., etc., and even his no, his dad said that. Her dad said that, and they said, when is the movie coming? And he said, we are we're working on it. I hope AI can make a quick movie really quickly. I'll subscribe to
That's crazy.
ChatGPT Pro. Maybe they can make me a quick movie. So anyways, and his daughter said, yeah, I inherited that. Why did you inherit $5 million? Why would he give you $5 million? We collaborated in some work, etc., etc. And they opened a company in the Virgin Islands, etc., etc. So there is already some fraud,
Yeah, of
some tax evasion there. And she said, in the United States, it is very common that a friend would donate in his will millions of dollars money to friends. This is very common in the States. I mean, I lived in the States for a few years. I never heard that. Nobody
you don't
ever
have the right friends.
I don't have the right friends, apparently. But this is a far stretch. Woody Allen was mentioned. So now we have the G files or whatever, J files, sorry.
Yeah.
The J files, J-mail, sorry.
J-mail,
J-mail.
yeah.
And so Jeffrey mail. And we have access to so much information that we are.
But they probably
drowning.
left the best ones out. But yeah.
I went there. I looked around. I don't know enough names. I don't know enough references. So I couldn't really get anything.
You need really to know what you want to look for. There are a few pictures.
Yeah.
Not that many compared to what I thought. Like I think it's a couple thousand maybe or something.
And none of them were really interesting, to be honest.
And yeah, you see
Boats,
like,
planes, things like sculptures, things like that. Like nothing crazy.
you don't see like him holding the head of a baby or
That's true.
or
That's
some
true.
kind of stuff.
That's
but
true.
what's like once again, what comes out and what's scary is that like it's the access, bro. Like
It's very easy to explain. For me, like one guy brings
that
you
level?
another guy, brings
No,
you another
that
guy,
level.
brings
I'm
you another
sorry.
guy. I'll give you a theory very quickly.
Uh-huh.
You meet a guy,
Yeah.
like they said that the first move that he made when he moved to Florida, to his mansion in Florida, he went to the biggest police station, the main one over there. Knock, knock. Who's your boss? Who's in charge here? Oh, this guy over there. Can I get a meeting with him really quickly? Hi. Yeah, hi. My name is Epstein. I just moved in the neighborhood. I just want to make sure everything is good. I want to introduce myself. So how are you? Blah, blah. So yeah, I do this. I do that. Listen, I want to donate some money to your district, to your police station.
Yeah.
Because I know you guys are underfunded in the States, etc., etc. And I think you guys are doing a good job. I heard a lot about you. I want to donate some money. Boom. You got one already. You didn't give him money.
No,
it's
no,
not
it's-
illegal.
no, bro,
but
bro.
here's the thing.
Bro,
Here's the
that
thing.
has nothing to do with that.
That's just one
I'm
of
not
the
telling
technique.
you. I'm not telling you he has a lot of friends. I'm talking access.
Exactly. He doesn't
very
have any
different.
friend. He has
No.
people
we're not
he's
talking-
holding by the balls. That's my theory. Let's hear me out. Hear me out. So that's one of the techniques that he uses. Of course, because he cannot, because the commissioner, Commissioner Gordon, if he Batman, the commissioner would not just come to one of his party, etc., etc. They would not all accept. But this one of the technique, he would donate money, etc. The second technique, it would be like just going and inviting a friend who invites a friend who invites a friend to a party, and then he tries to lure them into like alcohol, drugs, and sex and pretty girls, not necessarily minors. And then boom, these guys are married, they have fiancé, or they shouldn't be there. Pictures, and then this guy, he will say, "Listen, we are a group here. It's a tight group. Don't worry, nobody's taking pictures of you. I heard that your friend is the prime minister of. Bring him here. Let's have a fun." Boom, and the guy brings another guy, and it's almost like a networking for rich and famous, but he's taking like it's honey baiting pretty much, and it's
No, I get
used,
that.
it's used all the time. And then one guy brings you another guy,
No,
brings you another
but,
connection, and so on.
I don't know. It's just my opinion. I think it's a very different flavor.
I think that's how it is. People who should not be there doing things they should not be doing, they take pictures
because
of
the
them.
pool is not just there. It's on various levels at various times, high lows. Like he's always there. Like
Do you think he has friends?
no,
Friends with no interest, just friends?
no,
Of course not. So he's holding people by the balls.
no. I think that he's probably. I think I get your theory, but I think it's higher. I think he's making the rules, or he was one of the guys making the rules.
So how come he went to jail not only when he died, but before?
I think there's someone above him.
Okay, we'll.
and somebody that he pissed off.
I don't know, man.
I don't see it. You see, for instance, there is a clear hierarchy in all levels of, in all industries, in whether it's the entertainment industry, banking stuff. You have kind of like that. I'm not saying a secret society, but you have kind of like the guys who are calling the shots,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
And everything. When you see like big ass guys being shut down, like a Diddy, for instance, when you hear all the artists, all the stuff, like Diddy was untouchable, like in that scene. For it to happen the way it happened and the downfall, I don't think that it was just because one video leaked or whatever. I think it was very well orchestrated. And it's like it's how do you say this in English? It's euthanasia. Like it's getting him. Okay, you go to sleep.
I'm sure there is the big and powerful people, rich and powerful. They have there is a hierarchy. Some people are calling the shots for sure. There are some heroes that definitely fell in people's eyes, and some people we kind of expected. We are not expect, but we are not surprised.
Like who?
Okay. So
Because I was surprised not to see certain, like I would have thought that like someone like Diddy or
I was not so surprised.
no, like I would think that the like crazy stuff, like it would like amplify the whole thing, or I don't know.
Because, for example, the reason why I was not surprised by those rappers is because that's the image that they project all the time in their clips, like girls, half naked girls singing, etc. So I was expecting, like almost foolishly, that this is
Well-
how their real life looks.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something that's might be the how to say
The high
Controver-
point.
controversial point here.
Okay.
I think the high and mighty, it doesn't surprise me that much that they do some weird stuff. You know, like where they want to exercise their power, humiliate, do you know you
I
hear
agree.
the
I agree.
the Saudi stories or whatever, like getting
Some crazy
doing
ones,
some degrading stuff or whatever, borderline legal.
Because the powerful.
Me that's not the surprising part. Of course, there's the underage, the stuff that this is this is
they
off
crossed
limits,
the
right?
line, of course.
But what surprised me the most is, like I told you, like the access and the way. It's not like I know Elon Musk and I know this guy and I know this congresswoman. It's like there was emails where it's like, we need to go to this country. Oh, the president is not playing ball. Well, let's change him. Like, you get what I mean? It's a different level.
Honestly, I see where you're going with
But
this.
however, one of the things that I find very sad and convenient is that we're in the age of AI. And today there's so much stuff coming out, videos of testimonies and stuff. You don't know what's right, what's wrong. A lot of the things that I tried to find, I did not find when they like whoever the source that I heard from found. So I tried to dig a bit on my own on the Gmail, but I tried to select my sources on certain things. I find it fun to live in a world where like we're unraveling like the mysteries of how it works and stuff. But the truth is that we have no idea what's happening.
True. I mean, we have some idea.
We have no idea. I'm gonna tell you, like releasing the files, that was funny.
Yeah, because I think it was all smoke and mirrors, to be honest. Because the files, we have a lot
Because
of them.
like those, I think I don't know what's the number. I think it's a 300,000 or 3 million or whatever of redacted files.
Yeah.
Those are the juicy ones.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly. 100%. And the rest is still a lot, but a lot of empty, a lot of nothing.
Yes.
That's the problem. And I think they give us what they want to give us because they don't want to say, oh, we didn't give you
No, but
anything
imagine,
and you promised
like,
us.
let me tell you something. Imagine like how many countries are there? Like around 200 and something, right? What if I tell you there's 150 head of countries that are doing stuff that would get their heads on the stick directly? Like there are things where it's too risky, even if it's the case. So I find it almost funny, like it's like a real life Cluedo.
Yeah.
You know?
It's very comical that they, and I think it's true for a lot of things. A lot of info that we are getting are only the tip of the iceberg, and they are hiding the truth, and they are telling us what they want to tell us. And it's definitely the case here also with Epstein. But the big question is, okay, we know that some crazy stuff are happening, and to be honest, I'm only half surprised because, like you said, we almost in our imagination, everybody has this theory that like they're rich and famous, but they're very, very rich and really, really famous. They do some crazy stuff, and now we have a confirmation. So we are only half surprised because they are above the law, because they can manipulate.
And plus, how do you get a lot of excitement in your life when you have everything? Everything is boring at some point, and they start getting
it's
crazy.
True. It's true that the rich are usually excessive in many things. Like They when you see like cars that are plated in gold,
No, but because
unnecessary, but like
I think
why
there was
not?
this there was like some kind of study where they said, like, in terms of lifestyle, when you hit, I think, 100 million or something, the lifestyle is this, like, you're gonna have the private jet, you're gonna have the best restaurant, you're gonna have
Yeah.
there's only so many houses you can be at the same time, etc. So when you accumulate, how much is like 2,000 times 100 million, or
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
or more?
Like what excites you anymore? You get numb to the regular things,
Like,
even having
you saw
flying
the
privates,
movie,
etc.
was it Margin Call or something, where they say money, it's just money, like they use it to keep score,
Yeah,
you know, like,
exactly. Yeah.
it's not real, it's
That's I anyways, so the big question is,
yeah.
it seems like these recent years with the Me Too movement and all those things,
Okay.
we are surrounded by perverts.
For the first time in recent history, um women can do something about it, right?
Yeah.
It's not taboo. It's not, or you're gonna put shame.
I think it's still
no,
difficult. It's
there
still
is
taboo.
no.
It's
But
still
what I mean is that they still have like some kind of way of making something happen, right? So that's the first change. The second change there is that the sexual assault definition also changed. So
Sure.
they take in verbal things and stuff. So, which is good, but also blurs the lines on because although no crime should be encouraged or whatever, verbal assault and actual physical rape are still in two very different categories for me. And right now they're blurring a lot of stuff. And the last point is that there has been proof or examples of big financial gains for women in these cases. So what ended up happening is, one, because of the first reason, a lot of more women, because they can do something about it, come out, right? Second, what was the second point? Second was there's a lot more harassment crimes because, well, we take on more actions as the crime. So all the verbal stuff, the moral harassment, all that stuff. So that adds, and also, and this is kind of like the sad part of it, is that because of the financial gain, you have a whole lot of people, of women, that are coming forward for the money, which is actually is the biggest disservice to the actual thing. So you have those three things that make the volume go up of all these crimes. And I think I saw a statistic that was kind of weird. I think that almost like over 90% of all all the, how do you say,
Sex crimes, sexual crimes, or whatever.
no, like the les plaintes.
Oh, the complaints.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the
Yeah, let's go
the
roll
word,
with
but
it.
let's
I'm,
go
I'm,
roll
I'm
with
used to
it.
bullshit my way
So
like that. So
all the complaints are not prosecuted.
yes,
So does that say the problem is that it becomes a bit too blurry? And you said something earlier, and I'm gonna let you say it. Where for you it's very simple.
yes. For me, it's very
Yes.
simple. So this Me Too movement
Mm.
liberated the women, and they could like
Yeah.
really speak freely, and they are
Yes.
more heard and listened. Which,
Yes.
to be really honest, I think it must be a horrible feeling when you were sexually harassed and people
Yeah.
you wait like 2 years to say that, and why did you
And also,
And also, what were you wearing? You're provoking.
Yeah.
And these things, when you are sexually harassed,
one
these
thing
are horrible.
with the Me Too movement that is also important is that it kind of came out in industries, specific industries, usually music and movie industries mainly. And well, it seems to be almost like was normal for the big guys to push ex artist or ex movie star or whatever against sexual favors, and that in itself is, although it's very I understand the how to say, the victimhood of those women. Once again, I think it's a very different category than the ones that are actually raped, that didn't ask anything from anyone, that didn't get anything from it, etc. So these blurry lines of putting everything together makes it very hard to kind of have like a very clear position on everything.
It is interesting that the two the entertainment industry is the one that was more I would say in the forefront of this fight, but I think it's obviously in all layers of society, all the kind of jobs, etc., etc. But I think it's horrible that a woman who was sexually abused to not be heard, not be listened, and had to fight an uphill battle, and with the trauma that happened to her, I think it's horrible. But again,
and having to relive it and everything that comes with it, because you need to really, you can't just say, yeah, I was a victim. You need to describe, relive the stuff,
details, etc. And you know, it's almost like when you, I mean, of course, the comparison is probably not the best one, but when you go through customer service and you explain something tricky, and they say, oh, sure, they listen to you. And then, okay, let me transfer you. And they transfer you and say, yes, sir, what's the problem? Oh, I just told your colleague. No, you have to tell me again. Come on.
Well, it's the exact same thing. And it's like humiliation. And a lot of people also within that process might be in connection with the perpetrators, and it will downplay what you did. Oh, yeah, but he didn't mean it that way. We're not going to make that big of a deal. I understand, but let's keep it on the hush-hush. And you said something very interesting earlier, where you said, for me, it's very simple.
Yes, it is very simple, because if I take the example, for example, of Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, he won a fight in Vegas. He went to party. He met a girl. Obviously, he's a celebrity. He's rich. He's famous. So he attracts a lot of people, including girls. He was interested in a girl. She was interested in him. Apparently, they hit it off. They went back upstairs to his room. They had sex. She left. She said he raped me. He said we had normal sex. Now, here is the thing. In my opinion, one of them needs to be punished. If he raped her, clearly he needs to be punished. If she falsely claims that he raped her, she should be punished.
She should be punished.
But here is what happens in reality. If you accuse me, you already won, because you're tarnishing my reputation. And
well, you didn't necessarily win, but I'm losing.
If your intentions are bad, yes, exactly.
Yes.
So that's the first round. So the damage is done in a way.
Yes.
Now, whether he did it really or not, that's another thing. Of course, if he did it, it doesn't really matter. If you tarnish his reputation, he's an asshole anyways. But if you just want to make money out of him, most of the times they go to court, then they settle.
Yes.
Which means that I'll give you a little bit of money and we put this under the rug.
Yes.
And so that created an area, a space for all these women who wanted just to make a quick buck to use this tactic. And like you said earlier, this is the worst thing you can do for women's cause, because yes, you're making a quick buck, and usually you make a very, very big amount of money, but you are destroying all these women who really suffered, etc., etc., and you're saving your ass by making this big chunk of money. So
lines
to
are
finish, here's the thing. So now, I think the justice system should be a little bit different in a way that if we should not accept settlements. We should say, no, wait a second. Now this is a justice. This is the judge case. If you really raped, we will go all the way and we will punish you. I don't care if she forgives you, if you give her money and you forget everything. No. You probably forgave her or she forgave you, but we did not. We would not accept in a society rape or sexual abuse, etc. So you would be punished, and if she lied, then she should be punished. She should not just lose her case and be humiliated because she falsely, and like we said, like we mentioned many episodes ago, Johnny Depp, a very, very clear case where she lied and she was actually abusing him.
It's not that clear, to be honest, but what's for sure in that case, it was like a very weird case. So I don't think it's the best reference, but I would tell you this. To judge that type of case, you need one to have a lot of common sense, because usually laws are broken, so it's kind of rigid. Here, it cannot be rigid. I'm going to give you multiple examples. Say you're married, you're happy, whatever.
Yeah.
One night, you want to, get freaky with the missus, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's not in the mood. You're pushing a bit. Come on, whatever, right? Well, that could be considered rape, right? Rightfully so, if it's the case.
If she clearly says no and you rape her, you can rape your wife, obviously.
The same thing. If you're having intercourse with the girl, and in the middle of it, she said no more.
The consent is like
so
weird.
So you see, like it's like even if we play by very strict rules or whatever, how do you protect yourself from this? Right?
If I may interfere really quickly.
Yes.
Trevor Noah, the late night show host, whatever. He said something really interesting. He said one night he met a woman. Yeah. She's very friendly. They hit it off, etc., etc. Let's go for a drink, blah, blah. They go for drinks. And then he said, hey, do you want to come for one last drink? And she said, yes. They went to his apartment. And she said, oh my God, I'm so drunk. And he said, I need to call you a cab right now. Because now that you said this, technically, if we hit it off and it seems like we are going in that direction, if we have sex, you can the next day say that you clearly voiced your state that you were drunk and I still had sex with you, so this could play against me. So I'm really sorry. We can see each other another time, and that's the schizophrenia that's created now. The consent is very crazy. And like the example that you took, where you are in the middle of intercourse and then boom, and then she says, no, I want to stop now. Come on. Bill Burr had a very funny joke. I know this is not funny, but I don't know if you heard this. He said, no. If I say no. But if the judge reads it, no.
He's like,
different.
But that's the thing. It's that I find that when it comes to very serious problems, like very serious, whatever, all our lives, they told us, like when something, like our parents or whatever, there are things that are very serious. It's like a screaming wolf. There are things that you need for a society to work. Everybody needs to be okay that's a line not to cross. And I find it to be one of those where if somebody's been abused or somebody's been this, it needs to be taken into consideration and, like you said, very severely punished
for sure.
On whatever end. And a false accusation should be as big of a crime.
Absolutely.
Not because once I said that in public and people told me, yeah, but so what? You're saying that a victim of a real crime and someone that's been accused is the same? I said,
of course
no.
not.
But I think one damages even more the cause of the whole movement of women that are being abused and stuff. We have that. The other crazy thing is that across the world, people don't have the same definition of that crossing the line. some
true.
like I see, for instance, have you ever heard what's it called, a bachata song?
Yeah, very sexual, of course.
And you used to go. I remember when I was like 18 or whatever. I put the bachata song or whatever. It's basically, hey,
Yeah, it's very close to being sex.
not just sex, but almost forced sex. Like it's like you don't have a choice.
That's true.
Or,
That's
or
true.
or in music, we heard. I remember when I was a kid, I was like, you know, the la 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 long la la la
Yeah.
la la long song. I was singing it when I was 5.
Yeah.
And if you hear the lyrics,
I never paid attention to the lyrics.
well, you should.
We will. But you
And
know, yeah.
So all these things, like there is a shift in stuff. So in my opinion, we should not put certain things at the same level. Like, he told me like something verbally. I agree. You need to talk to women with respect, whatever, etc. But you can't get in that sacred line where everything is the same as a woman
Of course.
defense. Because let's not forget why it is that women are the biggest victim, because there are men as well, but women are the biggest victims because usually, and I'm saying usually again, they're weaker than the men that. So it's like really like there's nothing they can do about it.
I saw something interesting today. They said that a chimpanzee
Yeah.
is roughly around 70 kilos. But he's so strong, he can lift like 250, 300, 400 kilos, no
Yeah.
problem. And the chimpanzee, some domesticated chimpanzee could like, they attack their master. And this woman, he destroyed her. He really ripped her apart.
I saw that.
And they said that we have the same power ratio from human. So humans, if you hear this story, you would be very scared of chimpanzees, rightfully so, because technically he might be cute, but if he wants to kill you with his bare hands, it would
you're
take him a
saying
few
between
seconds.
a chimpanzee and a man is the same.
It's the same as between a man and a woman.
woman.
That's what scientists discovered.
Well,
and so we would be.
So,
So we understand
basically,
how
so
women.
if a chimpanzee decides to rape you, you basically have no chance.
He will rape you.
Yes.
So, which is a very weird image. Now I'm having a hard time getting rid of it.
Yeah, but
yeah. So I understand when people say, "Why didn't you speak up?" Because I was fucking petrified.
no, and
So
that
I
and-
understand that.
And there's levels in psychology or stuff. You can like bury it very quickly. It might be your boss and you have like a job and responsibility,
Yeah.
whatever. But if I come 20 years later, does that invalidate the crime?
That's a very good question.
Right? Once again, I would say these questions are about common sense. I need, because if I come back 20 years later, the crime is the crime. I'm not saying that she's not a victim or anything. Please bear with me. But if she comes out because it's the right time to make money, it's not the same as if it's not. No, it's very.
It's a
very-
tricky one, and honestly, this is definitely a tricky one
because 20 years later, basically, you almost have zero access to any proof.
through any
Right?
data,
It's
yeah.
like how would you treat? I'm thinking if you're a judge or whatever, how would you treat that situation? It's very complicated. So I think that as women, the women of the world should be the first line of defense for this cause. Of course, men should defend women. Men should not do whatever crazy stuff some men do. But the women need to understand that they have to gatekeep that accusation voice, because it gets diluted.
I have a daughter, and I'm thinking the basic things
Yeah.
I would teach her.
Yeah.
And I'm really honest. I know it sounds very crazy, but number one, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, baby. All the way. And I'll tell you, of course, a woman is most of the times gonna be less physically apt to defend herself, etc. etc. But Brazilian jiu-jitsu levels the playing field. That's number one. Number two,
100% agree.
Number two, and watch the episode about Brazilian jiu-jitsu and how I got my ass kicked and I panicked, etc. So I'm talking.
Yes.
And I'm
Jiu-jitsu.
I talked to him today. Anyways, number two, I would say you always have the right to say no, to say stop at any time you feel uncomfortable. You fucking scream stop, and I'll come and get you. No, but probably not. But, and of course, the consent is very delicate, etc., etc. But know where you're going, and know where you should foresee where the situation is going. Of course, you cannot foresee everything, but if you're drunk after a night being drunk and you go to his house, like, of course, he should not never abuse and the situation, but you have to also know that you should foresee where this might go, where this is probably going. But at any time, even during whatever, if you say stop, it has to stop. And you should never be ashamed. And that's the problem. Of course, what I'm saying is like mixed messages. Oh, you see where you're going,
no,
so it's your fault. It's not your fault. It's just common sense. Let's be really honest.
There is a way things should be. And we all agree, like anyone that's sane would agree. Like me, I always tell my own friends, girls that I know and stuff, you should be allowed to walk around. And so, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, yes. For the simple reason, women are more today in environments where they are taken as equals, in all situations. Like a driver can, like road rage can happen with between a man and a woman. You never know where things go. So this 100%. One of the things that I agree with as well is that there is the world that we want to see, and there is the reality. And for instance, in Morocco, although there's a lot of evolution, all this stuff, you can't walk in all places the way you would walk in the fancy neighborhoods. Or you don't have the same level of security or whatever. Like, if I'm going in certain places and I know that the crime rate it's like going to the hood or whatever, well, I have that reflex just to... I find to be a smart move to, take out my watch or do something. The same goes for women. You have the right to walk in those neighborhoods in a certain way or whatever. What I would tell my daughter, and I'm not speaking to women in general, but I would tell my daughter, that doesn't exist, by the way, so maybe I'll change my mind by that time, but I will tell her, be smart.
Yes.
Meaning that if you think there's a danger, even if it's not women's rights, whatever, if you think there's a danger because you're wearing a shorts or because you're doing this, once again, you have all the rights and you should live in a world where if you want to wear shorts, go ahead. But there's the reality. And if in reality that puts you in danger, I would tell her, be smart enough to not do that.
For sure. And to complete what I was saying before is learn jiu-jitsu to defend yourself. Be smart enough to not fall for logical, dangerous situations, etc. You expose yourself to more danger.
The same stuff to my son.
Absolutely.
It has nothing to do.
Absolutely. Like, why would you expose yourself to a higher risk of danger? Like, be smart enough to see that ahead of time and not expose yourself. And I would say to my daughter, if somebody, God forbids, abuses her, choke that motherfucker. I'll come bury him and I'll go to jail for you. But choke that motherfucker like big time. And again, you're right. We live in two different worlds. The reality is, if you dress provocative or revealing, you expose yourself to more danger. If you wear expensive jewelry in a bad neighborhood, it doesn't mean that what this guy is doing just to rob you is good. It just means that it was a little bit to be expected, or you increase
Not
the
to be
risk.
expected,
You increase
but
the
what
risk.
I mean is that when you dress a certain way and you're let's say, because we were talking about sexual abuse, right?
Yeah.
You dress a certain way that makes you desirable.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? And this is where it might be controversial, but you're desirable for everyone. So you get the attention of the nice guys that will probably just
Be
have a look.
respectful,
A
etc.
couple of them will be a bit more ballsy and ask you for a drink, but you'll have that fucking weirdo that's gonna say, "I hope she's gonna walk by an alley." And
Yeah.
I would trade personally the attention of that weirdo, not having the attention of that weirdo, and not having the attention of certain other men, depending on the environment I am. Because once again, why put yourself in a position of danger? Like going at the Medina in a short skirt, I don't see the advantages. I see a lot of like disadvantages.
Yeah. You attract attention, but not always the good ones. So that's
if
the
you want to
problem.
attract, I would tell my daughter, if you want to attract attention, make sure that you're attracting the right one first.
Exactly.
And once again, that has nothing to do with don't wear this or don't wear that, or it's more of adapt to your environment.
Yeah.
If you're unlucky enough to be in a bad environment, like some girls are growing up in feminist hell,
Yeah.
like where taking off, showing your nose is already like, is that right?
Provocative,
Absolutely not. But if I had a daughter in that environment, I'll tell her, cover your nose.
Yeah. Be smart. Be smart.
It's just about
that's it.
surviving.
Yeah.
Be smart.
Just be smart.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much a good conclusion.
Tough one.
We dodged the bullet there, but we'll see. We will probably
And please share
comment,
with us.
comment. Tell us
We're-
what you think.
We're very curious.
and we will see you next week. Take it
Yeah.
easy, guys. Thank you.